each quadra has its own vibe and unique ecosystem within it. Since a lot of people are familiar with Myers-Briggs, I'll speak in Myers-Briggs terms. Instead of having the J or the P be determined by the first extroverted function, so in Myers-Briggs, if there's a ENFJ, the first extroverted function is the first function, which is extroverted feeling, which is a judging function, which denotes the J at the end. Whereas an INFJ and Myers-Briggs, their first extroverted function is also extroverted feeling, but their first function is introverted intuition. But because their first extroverted function is a judging function, they have a J at the end. A lot of people, when they find out about Socionics, especially if they started out with Myers-Briggs, they're going to try to translate it over. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are mistyped, particularly in Myers-Briggs, just because it's so popular. Myers-Briggs became super popular in the last decade, and it's been popular for a long time, but it just simply it's not supposed to be as deep. Myers-Briggs was developed by a mother-daughter, and it was meant to be a way of dividing people into groups or categorizing people within school or work. This makes it really approachable when it comes to taking a test at work to see what personality type you might fit best with. But because a lot of people will approach the test in a certain mood, or they may try to be a certain personality type, even if they're not thinking about it consciously, it just simply happens. So my best advice if you're trying to find your personality type is definitely to study the cognitive functions, especially if you want to figure out what your Socionics type. Another hot take I have is if you know what your Socionics type is, you can transfer it over to Myers-Briggs. But again, if you are transferring it over from Myers-Briggs, so for example, I am an INFJ in Myers-Briggs, but in Socionics I would not be an INFJ. That's a completely different personality type.